Now, joining us in the studio to talk more about Tanzania's 50th anniversary and its significance is Mwamoyo Hamza, Chief of VOA's Swahili service. Welcome to the show, Hamza.
Thank you very much, Ndimyake.
And first, congratulations on 50 years of independence.
Thank you.
It's a
I'm
big
a
deal.
child of independence, so
wow.
This
has
my
a lot of significance for you,
yes.
in particular. Summarizing what we've just aired, the two pieces, how would you characterize the progress the country has made during that time?
I think on a personal level, I would say as a Tanzanian that Tanzania has made a lot of progress. As I just said, I'm a child of independence, so I've seen enough to know where the country how the country has moved, how far from where it first began. And given what was there in 1961 to what is there now, you could say that Tanzania has made a lot of progress in terms of development, in terms of the people themselves, despite all the problems that, would take years to talk about.
And of course, as Vincent asked the ambassador, how come it seems a lot of people in Tanzania are still waiting for that change? They don't really feel that it has come yet, the abolishment of poverty, say the employment, other improvements like that.
And that's because the change hasn't reached the majority of Tanzanians. The majority of Tanzanians are still living in poverty right now. Despite all the progress that is made, you look at the statistics, Tanzania's economy is growing very well, but when it comes down to the issues of bread and butter, many Tanzanians, they don't see that, they don't feel that on their dinner tables. So that's why people are frustrated.
Why do you think that is so? What is the government's answer to that?
I think the government's answer is to keep on working on the economic plans and root out corruption. Corruption has been a major part why Tanzania is so behind in terms of making that equitable economic gains.
And it's such an irony considering how anti-corrupt Mwalimu Nyerere really was, and I just imagine what he must be thinking right now, seeing the corruption as it is.
As they say, he would be turning in his grave right now, because when he was there was corruption. Corruption is a condition that you could say is almost natural to human being. Any human being, when they get a chance, they will do a little something that is not legal. But at the time of Mwalimu, there was enough laws and regulations that made it, people were aware that if I do this, I'll go away.
And he really set the example himself. He was very humble and he really lived within the means. But I wanted to also talk a little bit more about Mwalimu and why he's still, in your opinion, so revered still today, even though by his own admission, the policies that he tried to implement didn't quite work.
He's revered because of what he has given Tanzania. I mean, despite having led the fight to independence itself, national cohesion, political stability. Tanzania, as the piece you just aired, clearly indicated, Tanzania has never had civil war, has never had any kind of conflict, political coups, military coups, or civilian coups. So that stability in the national cohesion, Tanzanians, you would meet a Tanzanian and you would talk to them for hours. You don't know where they came from.
They're connected by the language.
Yeah, we're connected by the language.
Now, here's another question before you go quickly. Chama cha Mapinduzi, the party that is ruling right now, how much of that is still ongoing, people support it because of what it is doing for the country, or the fact that it was Mwalimu's party?
Well, I would say
there's a lot of criticism against it.
I would say a lot of it still has to do with what Mwalimu gave Tanzanians. Now you have many political parties in Tanzania, and you can see the shift from Chama cha Mapinduzi to other political parties. And Chama cha Mapinduzi has to work much harder right now if it wants to maintain what it has now.
Hamza, thank you so much for coming to join us today. That's Mwamoyo Hamza, Chief of VOA's Swahili service.